Hello everyone, I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on Notability. As many of you know, I believe Notability to be one of the best note-taking apps there are. And what's great about it is you can import PDFs or export to Notability a PDF from other apps on an iPad. This screen that you're looking at here is the library screen. This is where all of your notes are organized, and the way that I have it here, the colors on this side of the screen are your subjects, and you can have as many subjects as you want. You notice some of these have locks on them, so you can password protect some of the subjects that you have, which is a great feature. You can, over here, you can search your notes, and you can sort your notes by other things. If you tap these import, you can import files from Google Drive or Dropbox or Box.com, and you can also select any of these notes and export them to an email, to Dropbox, to Google Drive, to Twitter, to Box, to print, iTunes, or to open in another app, which is a great thing for it to do. I'm going to show you a couple of things that you need to do. This button at the top left of the screen, that is the button to go back to the library. And if you don't go back to the library before you close out, the next person to use the device, they have to do that in order to get out of your notes. So it's a good thing to do, especially if you're using an iPad that belongs to the school. It's used by many people. This button right here is the Create a Note. If you are in a specific subject, so you notice that I have welcome highlighted. That is the subject that any new note that I either import or create here in Notability will go. If you tap on All, right up here, you notice it turned blue, then anything that you create will go into Unfiled. And then you can take these notes and drag them wherever you want. So it's a great thing for you to do. I'm going to go ahead and show you creating a note. Up here at the top, you notice the default title is Note and then the date. In settings, you can change it to whatever you want. But you can also, I'll show you this again. When you have a title, then you do whatever it is. This over here, you see the X. If you tap on that, it takes the title away. And so type the title here. Okay, I'm going to first show you the text tool. With text, you can scroll with one finger. And then you see these tools right here. These are great tools. You can access these tools also by, I guess I was wrong. Right down here we've got favorites. These font favorites are a quick way to change between different fonts that you really like. And if you tap and hold, you can change the settings for each one, including the font, the color, the size, and the style. So it makes it really easy to just do it, especially once you get used to typing on a touch screen. You can use the iPad almost anywhere. Over here we have the date. If you wanted to change the date, you just tap on the date and then you modify it. One of my favorite tools is the text, not the text, but the handwriting tool. That's what I just highlighted up here. You see it in black. Whatever that pen is colored, that is the color of the ink that you'll be using. To change the settings for the pen, you just tap on it again and you can change the size or even the style. You've got this kind of tapers to the end and tries to make it a little bit more like an ink pen. This one is more straight, like a pencil. You can select any of these colors. So if I select red, that pen turns red. I just do most of my stuff in black. When you are using the pen tool, if you try to drag with one finger, you see what happens. I love the undo button. It's a great way undoing what you've done. So to scroll, you use 2 fingers up and down. See that it's scrolling. Okay, if you have a really big document, this icon right over here is going to change, or it's going to give you this Pages browser on the right side. A quick way to go from one page to the next. If you tap and hold, it brings up the zoom box. Up in this area up here, if you touch up there, it's not going to make any changes other than moving where that box is. I like to make this box as small as possible so that I can get my handwriting to look as good as possible. And then down here in the bottom, we have the zoom box. Now if you notice on the left side of this box, we have pencil tool, so if you tap on that, you can quickly change the settings. You also have a highlighter tool, which also uses the zoom box, and you can change the settings there as well. Undo button is right there, and again, if you tap and hold, you can access the undo or redo options. And then erase is right there. So erase, I'll show you how that works. If I have a really big mark and my finger does not leave the screen, I only need to just touch that and the whole thing disappears with the eraser. Okay. So the great thing about the zoom box is that it allows you to write big so that your handwriting looks normal in the body of the document. So just like this, I'm just using the tip of my finger. With a stylus, it can be a little bit easier to write well, but I find that it's still comparable. This green area over here, change it. You can drag that as up to that far, and if your mark goes inside there, when you release the finger, it moves over. But you can always move it back using this button right here. So you tap the left, and then tap the right. To go down. It's really quite a cool thing. And this has a lot of features. I probably could go on and explain how they all work. I'm going to just show you one more thing that I find very useful, especially when I'm marking up a PDF. When this scissor tool, if you tap on the scissor tool, you can move any of your handwriting around. And it only has to, just like the eraser tool, it only has to just barely touch the marks that you make. See that how I didn't even touch the one side of the page and that one stayed there. So you circle everything inside of that, or everything that's touching moves with your finger. So notice I have another mark here. I can move that around. I can delete it. Change the style, which is kind of fun. You do this and you tap inside that circle, and tap on style, and there's your styles. Fine, tap on and change the size icon. It kind of looks like an ink blot, or you can make it even smaller like that. So, really quite a useful thing.